There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new Integra. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Mic checks echo, I'm the sound of the brawl. Canvas creaks, flesh slaps, bodies rise and fall. Steel cage dreams, no escape. All pain, blood stains mixed with the sweat and the chain. Adrenaline surging my veins, spit fire. Crowd chants feeding my soul's desire. Turnbuckles tremble when my wrath collides. Glory's the belt and I'm taking the pride. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Like flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Pyros ignite, shadows dance in the glow. Ringside roar, it's a gladiator show. Chokeholds tighter than the grip of the night. Climbing the ropes to new championship heights. The mat's a battlefield, no room for doubt. Every move calculated, every scream a shout. The bell tolls louder than a sinner's regret. This is the place where the bold never forget. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Like flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Like flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Circle Digest!
AP, the place to be. The Squared Circle Digest. I am Sean Stanley. He is the great Frankie Fresco. How we doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, man. How are you, bro?
I'm good, man. Good. Staying busy. Unfortunately, a little bit too busy, but
It's good.
that's a good thing. It's a good thing to have, man. Yourself, sir, you staying busy?
Yeah, man. It's been a lot of work. It's right now it's season for us, so we got a lot of a lot of things, a lot of corporate events going on. So I was doing that, and the next couple of weeks is gonna be intense. A lot of work, but work is good. But we still have time for some wrestling, so that's the more important thing. And also, we got Survivor Series this weekend, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. So we'll get our picks up for that. It will be interested to see which way they go with that, but that will be at the end of the hour. We will talk more on that. Not really a long show. It could turn into a long show, but we don't have a lot of topics to discuss, again, with both of us being super busy, but we also do not want to sit there and not be on the air. Also, NXT just kicked off Gold Rush Night 2. So we'll see. It looks like they're starting with the Evolve Championship right now. Shay is in, as well as Papa. So appreciate you guys already in. If you're watching us on X, on Twitch, on Facebook, don't forget to jump over to the YouTube channels, Frankie Fresco and Stanley Media House Network. Hit that subscribe notification so you know when we go live with anything that we are a part of. Frankie, they did it. WWE finally took the step. Although, after last night, I don't know if it's going to happen now anymore, but we'll see. But they did reunite the Lucha Brothers on WWE TV, but during the AAA show, and then it was going to be December 20th. It was going to be the Lucha Brothers against El Grande Americano and Dominic Mysterio. But I don't really want to talk about the match now because we don't know what the shoulder injury is. The topic I wanted to look at was, do you think from a WWE standpoint, good move, bad move, to finally, link the Lucha Brothers together, but to do it on a AAA platform. I know AAA is a part of WWE now, but it was a AAA show, not a WWE related show, a AAA show. Good call, bad call. What's your thoughts?
Well, first and foremost, I want to go ahead and hope Penta the best recovery.
Yes.
Hopefully, he's not seriously injured. I didn't know it was a shoulder. I thought it was his knee. And
Oh
second,
no! Did you see how he got? Can I say something on that too?
yeah, go for it.
Solo totally missed him. I don't know if it was a.
I did see that Solo missed him.
I don't know if it was like the gear. I don't know if Solo had, but he didn't catch him flush. And then when Penta turned, it was straight into the thing. So we'll
Oh.
see. It didn't look like, again, I don't know if they popped it back in right there at ringside, if something popped out. So we'll see. Those hurt a lot more than sometimes the damage is. So hopefully that's the case. But go ahead and finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Well, first and foremost, like I said, I hope he recovers. And also, if you guys are tuning in, don't forget to hit the like, don't forget to hit the subscribe, don't forget to share the stream. And you guys know I'm a Penta fan. I'm actually wearing the Penta shirt today, showing some love for him. I thought the decision to bring him in AAA. Oh, I got some sound effects in the background there. All
Yeah,
right.
sorry. That was for some reason the Brock Lesnar being stuck on my phone when he tripped is
Oh,
still there.
we could
So.
definitely talk about that too. um, I thought the decision to bring him in AAA is actually a smart decision. I know that they're pushing the Mexican lucha libre. It looks like they're pushing a lot WWE wrestlers making their way to AAA and to TNA and winning the belts more and more often. I mean, look, the other day they had well, today's part 2 of the NXT Gold Rush, but last week they had the mixed championship being defended on that Gold Rush day 1 on NXT, and that's supposedly, that's Triple A's belts. So from the looks of it, at first I thought to myself, I was like, "Yo, that's not a good idea." But then afterwards, I'm noticing that they really want to expand into Triple A, and they really want to expand into TNA. And it's kind of like a hostile takeover, like you start seeing more and more of these guys making their way over there. So I think it's a good thing. I guess it's a way for them to get more fans from the WWE world to go and tune into the AAA world, and I think that's what they're trying to do. So I think that was that's the cool decision from them, and I think it's gonna gain a lot of popularity for AAA.
Yeah. What's funny is I even tweeted out. I was like, "Oh, great move, WWE! You booked the Lucha Brothers in AAA." But now today there's an announcement made starting in 2026 in Mexico. AAA's new home on TV is Fox.
Yes, but that's only for the Spanish, right? Spanish Fox.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, that's why now I'm understanding. Okay, Dom. Okay, all these guys are getting over there, getting their faces in there, because that's what that show's going to become. And now with that being released, now it's like, okay, that's why they want to push with the Lucha Brothers going into 2026. You're pushing the Fox Spanish, in Mexico for the foreseeable future. And to me now, that makes a ton of more sense than when I watched it Saturday. Like, what are we doing here? Why do that on that show when you could have built this up? You've had numerous times you could have linked them when Andrade left, and other times where, not that you had to put them together long term, but Penta could have saved Phoenix. Phoenix could have saved Penta. You've had that opportunity and you haven't used it. And then now you throw it on this, on the pay-per-view, the AAA thing. And I was like, not a big fan of this. But after seeing some of the news that have come out, I'm kind of like you. I'm kind of going like, okay, now it's making more sense. You're putting more of the names that people know nationally, worldwide from the WWE in the mix, so that TV is gonna take off when it first hits over there. So to me now, looking back at it, Saturday, I was in a different thinking than what I am today.
I think the thing we also gotta kind of put two and two together is that eventually we're gonna see the Lucha Brothers in the main SmackDown or Raw. So I think we don't lose that much. We're gonna see it in AAA, and like you just said, they want to grow that audience over there. And what better way than two Mexicans, obviously teaming up together? They're historically known. as the Lucha Brothers, and they are well known over there too. So it's a good way to sell both that TNA, that AAA brand, and then also
Hmm.
sell us for both watching. And again, that's more wrestling for all of us to watch, right? You're gonna start tuning into AAA because you want to see what ends up happening.
Yeah, I watched the pay-per-view on WWE YouTube this weekend. I mean, I watched it, right there, and they just allow, again, it's just you have so much access now to wrestling shows that you never did before.
Yeah, and you're not missing out because you could always catch the replay at whatever time you prefer. So that's why it's kind of cool. I didn't get a chance to watch Monday Night Raw yesterday live, but then I was able to catch it right afterwards. So like it varies no matter where you watch it. And same thing goes for the AEW. AEW is doing the
Yeah.
same thing. So it's
Yeah.
pretty clever by both wrestling organizations and everybody who's using mainstream media to um, kind of promote and show their wrestlers in the shows.
Yeah, no, 100%. And the funny thing now too, looking at the next topic I want to talk about TK strikes again a 5.5 hour pay-per-view. That includes, it technically was a 4.5 hour pay-per-view, but an hour of 0 hour that started at 7. So the fans in attendance, 5.5 hours on pay-per-view. I watched. What's funny is the AAA show started at 10:15
Mm-hmm.
and was done before the AAA. I'm sorry, before AEW's pay-per-view ended.
You know, Chris, I'm starting to realize that you're not a big fan of AEW.
Uh,
But
NWA Power, I can go with NWA Power. I haven't watched enough of it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've watched bits and pieces of it. But I don't mind the NW. I don't mind any of the wrestling, honestly. I don't. I just like it to be storyline driven, or to make me watch it to be entertained and to have a. I don't like just watching to watch matches, if that makes sense.
so the AAA started at 10:15 and ended at what time?
I think it was over right at about 12.
So a 2-hour show, pretty much.
Yeah. I think it was actually 10. I said 10. Oh, hold on a minute. Let me double check that, man.
And then the AEW started at 7 o'clock,
Well, the Zero Dark did, yeah.
and then it didn't end until 12:15 or around 12:30.
12:40, 12:30, 12:40, yeah.
Now, okay, so for you wrestling fans that obviously are not biased and are only loving a WWE and not and hating on AEW, what do you guys think about that as well? Do you guys feel like that is too much wrestling? Because in my opinion, I feel like Tony Khan needs to stop doing this. I think this is too much wrestling for one night. You're gonna bore your audience eventually, and you could only imagine the crowd there. Like, look, hardcore fans are gonna love it. Hardcore fans will stick around, but if you keep going to these shows, and granted, you're getting your money's worth. That is a lot of wrestling, but at the same time, when is it too much wrestling? Especially for just one night, you feel me? Like I think that's exaggerating, and this is not the first time that he does that. I don't mind the long pay per views for the big ones, for like All In, which is kind of like their
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania. But these ones, he needs to cut it down, bro. Like, dude, that's 5.5, almost 6 hours, dude. That's insane. That's almost like a whole working day. Like you work 8 hours, you're almost at 6 hours, like literally watching AEW wrestling.
W. Mm-hmm.
That is a lot, man.
Hold on.
That's a lot of
I'm trying
wrestling.
to find. Hold on a minute. I got it right here. Hold on a minute. I want to double check something because.
Well, while you do that, let me see what Chris wrote. Chris wrote, Lucha Libre AAA is the West promotion out of Mexico. CML is the East of Mexico. And then Cheyenne said,
Yeah.
I don't think I have watched one AEW show. My childhood favorite was Jericho, but he couldn't convince me to watch. Oh wow. And then Tony Khan's is crap. Are the matches long or are there more matches? It's a combination of both because there's a ton of matches and then they do go long.
9 matches on the main card. Actually, technically 10 because they did the stupid thing again where the match blended into the beginning of the pay-per-view.
They did. I
The
saw
last
that.
match on the 0 hour was Okada and
Cash
well,
cup.
the triple threat, and then they did that at the end. So, man, here's my thing, and then again, when you do 9 hour shows
But check this out. You have
or 5 hour shows, sorry,
10 matches, right? So each match is going what? About 30 minutes each one, maybe? Somewhere around there?
the main event, I wrote it right here. The main event started at 12:04. The bell rung. At 12:05, Samoa Joe was bleeding. At 12:08, Adam Page is bleeding. At 12, the main event whole match was 15 minutes. 15 minutes was the main event, and then 10 minutes was the whole thing with Swerve coming out.
So it wasn't
The match, it was rushed. It was rushed because
it wasn't
they
that bad.
couldn't go much longer. I mean, dude, Samoa Joe, Hangman Page jumps Samoa Joe, and he's bleeding before they even ring the bell almost.
I think Tony Khan needs to take the concept of bleeding and implement it to the length of his show. You see how he immediately bleeds people? He probably needs to immediately shorten these matches or cut down on the amount of wrestling matches. Like, dude, you have 10 matches. Like, do you really need 10? Just do 5 or 6 and then be smart about it and use those other 4 or 5 on an AEW Dynamite. That way, maybe AEW Dynamite or a Collision will gain more popularity. But to throw in 10 matches like that, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, you're
And
killing
then
the
and then
audience.
this is what made me think and Chris I think it's Gallegos.
Yes.
I agree 100% with you. I love more of the old school style. That is something that we can agree on, but I also understand everything evolves. So this is why I brought this up as a topic. Somebody put in there, they put F that New Jersey crowd, man. Never run a pay-per-view there again. And there's a gentleman that he's on he's a podcaster, Self-Made Pro Wrestling, I think it's called. He goes by the tag of @BackupHangman. He's been around. He's been on there for quite a while. He does some stuff. He says it was midnight in Newark. We've been watching wrestling for 5 hours. Half the crowd were getting their kids out of there, and the other half were worried about whether they'd be able to catch a train back to Manhattan. The circumstances weren't ideal. People were tired.
I mean,
Because the last 2 matches were the Mercedes Moné, Chris Statlander, and then into the Samoa Joe thing. And then Chris Statlander and Mercedes Moné did a spot where each of them were outside at 9, and then they got back in before the 10, one after the other. And the crowd reaction just wasn't there. I even wrote on my notes, I'm like, the crowd's dead, too much wrestling.
yeah,
But I didn't know about all the other stuff about trying to catch buses and all that other stuff. It was an interesting thing. And that was from somebody that is a fan of AEW.
Well-
Not,
Well, here's the thing too. Let's keep it real. Obviously, AEW ticket sales and their ticket costs are not as pricey as WWE. And there was actually, I don't know if you noticed, but on Monday Night Raw, there was a sign from somebody saying, "Hey, this is my last live show. Thank you, TKO." But I don't know if you read, but I'm reading as well that Saturday main event, their ticket sales are going a little bit down because they said that they still need to sell some tickets, and I guess they're having a little bit of a hard time selling the whole.
Well, yeah, because they did it astronomically, hoping whatever they sell will be their biggest gate, and then when they get to it, they'll start doing what they do. Dude, everybody talks about this stuff, but you know how many? That was their largest crowd at the arena they were at Monday. That was the largest crowd they sold there by 1,500 tickets last night. As ticket prices are going up, I get it that ones or twos or people, are saying that, but the fact that, again, value is what people are willing to pay for. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people willing to pay stupid money to go watch, men and women wrestle in tights.
And yeah, and what Chris is saying that talent has left, like CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, that also hurts the brand, right? I mean, look, let's. So there's combinations of everything, right? You got a 5.5 hour show, close to 6 hours. If you are taking a bus or you are from New York and taking the train all the way over there and all that stuff, trying to save up on gas, trying to save up on driving, because I know New York is a little bit rough to drive. And you have all this playing into effect, and you don't want to leave because you don't want to miss out the main event, right? And then the main event is being rushed, and then on top of that, you spent money, you have your kids, you have a lot of factors. And again, I think Tony Khan needs to just realize that I think he needs to cut down drastically on the amount of matches that he puts on these AEW pay-per-views, because yes, it's great for the hardcore fans, but you're gonna burn them out at the end of the day. I've been to AEW live events. I've been to Dynamite. I've been to Collision. I've been on their pay per views and everything, and it's the same thing. He hasn't changed.
No.
When I went last year to Orlando, for the pay per view, I forgot the name of that. Worlds Collide. I think it was, no, well, no, it wasn't Worlds Collide. I think it was the one after Worlds Collides. But again, I was in Orlando, and literally that show went for like 5 hours. And keep in mind, guys, that's just what they're showing on TV. I mean, before 0 hours, there's actually sometimes even matches before that as well. So, and when you go to a Dynamite show and all that stuff, they also do a lot of 0 hour type of fights. So it's like you're pretty much like, if you're gonna go to an AEW event live, yo, get ready. Get ready to stay there for a while. And Sean, think about it, man. You're there for 5 or 6 hours. You get hungry, dude. You get thirsty. All of a sudden, you want to go buy food and stuff like that. Dude, the prices for all that stuff is expensive in these
Yeah.
arenas. So that's because
Well,
that's where they make the money. So
and then my other question is this: I know some wrestling shows, and I mean, like WWE the snack bars would usually be closed near the main event time because they got a specific time where they shut off. I wonder, like, what was open still at that place at that time? Like, what deal do they have? Does Tony Khan, like, once the main event goes on, then you guys can shut down? Is it, it's just weird because now I'm reading some of these in the chat area here, and somebody put, not gonna lie, I was tired at home watching. I work nights. I understand when to give people time, pay-per-view buyers their money's worth, but every match doesn't have to be an epic. Chris and Monet and the main was wrestling to mostly silence. Nobody be mad at these ending at 11:30. TK's done it before. And that's the thing. Like, I look back on it and it's like, you ran the gauntlet match, and that gauntlet match, 12 people, was almost an hour long.
I did see that. Yeah, I saw
And
that.
it's like, do we really need to go that, like,
And did they really have to go like with all the people that they used? I know you're
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
like use as much talent as possible, but come
yeah.
on, man.
It's one of those things where they talk about with Tony Khan all the time about where he just wants to be everybody's friend and make sure everybody gets the time that they want. And again, I'm not saying that's necessarily key, but as you look at things and you're like, why can't you tell them they're not going to be on the pay-per-view?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look, we don't have enough spots. No, instead he's got to have 6 matches on the 0 hour and then 9 matches on the regular pay-per-view. And
he likes to combine sometimes those Ring of Honor matches as well. So it's like, bro, it's just too much, man. Chill.
yeah,
But like you said, it comes to the point where he is. We spoke about this last week because he had the interview with Eric Hawani. He's the one booking all this stuff. So
yeah.
he is
He's
the one
making the
making
decisions, he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he is going to the grave with his decisions. And I wonder if let me ask you this, as a booker, don't you wouldn't you be reading the comments on social media, the critics and all that stuff, and
But see, that's
kind
where
of
I think with Tony Khan, it's what he says and what he does are two different things. Because I'm going to use my personal experience in wrestling in this one. Okay, when we used to do shows, and there were shows that were ECW-esque where they would go on forever, and then it was CCW back in the day with Dave Johnson, rest in peace, and Bruno and Dan and those guys. They ran 2-hour shows. 2-hour shows. And the crowds grew. They never tired out. They brought them back. They gave them the show. And again, it's about timing and it's about using that time. And I feel like, in a way, it's just like, we know we can have good matches. Everybody gets 20 minutes. Go out there and have the epic match of the night. But then the problem is this. When somebody doesn't do their 20 and goes over 30, you don't cut back time. So now all of a sudden everybody's like, well, if they went over, I'm going to go over. And if they go over, I'm going over. Well, I'm the main event. Hell, I need to go over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you got a 5 freaking hour show. And it's like, hey, guys, I know we want to give the money's worth to the fans. I get all this. But I'm going to have to cut some, I'm going to have to cut stuff out. Because if I have 5 matches and everybody goes over, I'm at 3 hours. If I have 9 matches and everybody goes over, I'm almost up to 6 hours.
And then here comes the issue too, Sean, is the wrestlers are going to complain about, hey, I want my match to be longer. And then you got other wrestlers that Tony Khan is booking fights that are like 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long. And it's like annoying as well. And you're getting complaints of those wrestlers. I mean, we had
Yep.
this conversation last week as well. So it's like, it's just bad booking, man. And it's unfortunate. And I don't think he's going to change, man. And I don't know how or at one point will he eventually lose the AEW fans, the hardcore AEW fans. I don't know if he will lose them, but there's a very, very good chance that for some of these pay-per-views, I don't know if I'm gonna be there for the whole event. I mean, for me, if I'm at the AEW events, I'll probably go there late because I know it's such a long show. But I am the type of fan that I want to see all the matches, but I probably would treat it like a football game. Instead of going there on the first quarter at the very beginning, I'll probably go there in the second quarter. So I'll probably go there like 4 matches in already.
Mm-hmm.
That way I don't get burned out if I'm actually attending one of these pay-per-views live.
Yeah, and Chris Gallagher says, I like the original Ring of Honor wrestling better than today's Ring of Honor with the AEW. Well, I mean, it's kind of like it's AEW down, just like WWE shows or WWE down in a way, like watered down is what I mean. It's not Ring of Honor anymore. It's AEW's Ring of Honor, just like it was WWE's ECW and WWE's, those shows like that. It takes on that feel and it hurts it because the thing about Ring of Honor was the fact that like that was the epitome of independent wrestling.
Yeah.
Especially when like in my time when you had, the AJ Styles, Low Key, Amazing Red, you had all those guys in and out of the Federation, Christopher Daniels, Roderick Strong, all those guys that, Adam Cole, of course, when he came on. It was the epitome of independent wrestling. You wanted to work there because you were working with the best in the independent scene at that time. And unfortunately, now, again, like that happens with every show, WWE, AEW included, when they put their hands on something, it becomes more, modeled to the main parent company than it is to what Ring of Honor used to be.
Yeah, and Chris, I like the fact that you watch wrestling. I saw one of your comments saying that you're watching wrestling from Argentina, so that's pretty cool, and you were watching it on YouTube and stuff like that. But I don't agree with your comment where it says I don't want AEW to succeed. It doesn't deserve it. Look, I'm not gonna blame the wrestlers for how Tony Khan manages AEW. The talent, you got to give them kudos, man. They're very talented wrestlers over there. As you can tell, look at all the champions now in WWE. They're all pretty much AEW ex-wrestlers. So they know they get quality wrestling over there. The problem is TK. The problem is him. He has to be able to he needs to be able to take criticism and change his format in order to get the audience to be more invested on this product. And
there needs to be a chief. There needs to be a chief. And you got to lay the law down and be like, no, this is what we do. Think about this. And again, I get it. I understand it's Vince ran the company from the beginning and it was his, but nobody went to Vince. Now, hell, I mean, even you see her stories now where Bubba Ray was like, we went 5 minutes over when we did the lady powerbomb, the old lady through the table. And he went to the back and he said, you better never do that again on my TV unless it's as good as that.
Yeah.
I mean, there was times where people went 2 minutes over and they weren't on TV the next week.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like the stars are the stars. The Rock, Cena, and those guys go over. You know what? Somebody's getting time cut. Sorry to tell you, that's life. That's the politics of wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, they might get talked to and be like, hey, you could have cut 3 minutes of that BS out so that we could have got some more stuff in there. But they're not going to be told, no, cut it next time. No.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where, you know, in our conversation that we had a week ago or a couple weeks ago, was that you have to, you know, take that time when it's given to you, because not everybody's getting that time. I get it. 3 minutes sucks. I get it. But that's 3 minutes that you're on TV that you now have in your resume or however you want to look at it. The problem to me is I think people look at 3 minutes in WWE on TV different than they look at 3 minutes on AEW TV.
That's true. Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's, but also WWE's got it down to, you do this, 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 and this. And I get it. It's cookie cutter sometimes. But when you look at some of the problems that AEW's having now, if those were cookie cuttered as well, you're not having these issues and you're not having to try to implement, you know, different things and stuff like that.
Well, I want to ask Josh, because Josh wrote it on the chat board. He says, to be honest, I don't know why AEW never caught my attention. Well, think about it. Like, why don't people get the attention caught by AEW? Like, why are people just like brushing them off? Like, what is it? What is it that has not caught people's attention over to that brand? Because when it's something good, you're going to go watch it.
Yeah, but I just think that, again, I don't think it was bad at the beginning. I think it was, to me, it was bad. There were some guys I questioned. Darby Allin. I questioned Orange Cassidy, but they put them in feuds with Jericho, Cody Rhodes, things like that, to where they became, you know, believable as wrestlers. I was like, okay, all right, I can see it. But also, the problem now I have with Darby is, to me now, they're trying to make him a freaking superhero.
They are. Like, you saw he was wrestling all burned and stuff.
He's on fire. He's burned. He's jumping off this. He's jumping off that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
And that's to me where sometimes I think that might be where, you know, and again, Josh, to me, I think, and Josh, correct me if I'm wrong here, please. I believe Josh has always been a WWE watcher. I don't know if he watched WCW, maybe he did at the time. But as I told you before, WWE conditions their fans on what wrestling is. So then you think, okay, this is what wrestling is. And when you watch something else, you're like, no, that's not it. Doesn't catch your attention anymore because you're used to seeing this.
Well, I understand what you mean by that, but then let me ask you about Chris, because Chris is dropping knowledge here of back in the day and all this stuff, but he's not an AEW fan either. So
yeah, because it's old school style. It's there's nothing old
but he
school
likes
really
old school.
about. Yeah, but the AEW is not old school.
But they're a little bit more old school than WWE, though. I could tell you that.
No, not really. There's no storylines. There's no, like, there's. I mean, look, this is what I'll say, because again, I don't mind, because I kind of transitioned with what AEW is, but like, to me, 22 super kicks is just freaking ridiculous, bro. Like, how does that, like, man, dude, the Mark Briscoe match, dude, as a sicko, if you're a sicko, you love that match. They took a screwdriver, shoved it up through the turnbuckle, and he was going to do that brain buster. And I'm like, bro, do you really, like, I'm not an idiot. I know you're not doing this, because what is he going to do? Put it through his head?
Yeah,
like, come on, what are we doing here?
Gonna kill the guy.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like things like that, you know, and then it's like, okay, he took a brain buster on thumbtacks. He does all this stuff and he kicks out. And then you hit him with the J Driller and you pin him. And it's like, okay, all right, maybe that move's the big move of, I don't know, but it's like, to me, it's got to make sense, man. I mean, again, I know I'm the old guy. Get off my lawn. But Harley Race used to win matches with a suplex. A freaking suplex. He would let your blood rush to your head, holding you there, drop you back, 1, 2, 3. JYD used to win with a power slam. Jake Roberts, one DDT puts you away. Hulk Hogan, a leg drop. Like, that was wrestling back then. It wasn't, you're kicking out of every damn thing in their mother. Now it's like you're every superhero. It's like, that's the other thing also with AEW is they have so many damn false finishes that it's like by the time you get to the finish of the match, you're almost like, thank God.
Wait,
hold times they're going to kick out of stuff.
Hold on a second, sir. Don't say that AEW is the only one that does that, because WWE does the same crap too. We seen that from WWE. Let's go back to what I told you a couple weeks ago when Dom went ahead and did his finishing move. He did the 619. He did the frog splash, and then John Cena kicked out.
They did it one time and he kicked out, right? They didn't go back to it and do it again, right? And then do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again.
And he kicked out. And then
I don't mind them one time. I don't mind them one time. There was 17 to 30 spots in the AEW show where they ran back and forth on like just kicking out of every finish they can.
Yeah, but
that gets old, man. That gets old, bro.
Okay, bro. Let me ask you this: when John Cena went against AJ Styles, they were going ahead and doing all these finishing moves from all these wrestlers paying tribute
and stuff. Yeah.
But so if you're gonna be the bad wolf and gonna criticize AEW, then go ahead and criticize WWE because they do it as well. Let's just keep it real.
AEW shows are over in 2 hours to 3 hours. I'm trying to tell you what's wrong with AEW. Is that they just do this fucking, everybody kicks out of the same move, but then guess what happened on the pay-per-view? The move that they kicked out of 13 times the match before was the finish the match after.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I did not get a chance to watch Full Gear. I saw the highlights. I saw some
Full
stuff
Gear.
That
I
happened.
thought was a good show, man. It was a great show. But I could tell by the end, the crowd was. Again, the wrestling was fantastic. The problem is the dividing up of the time for the show is terrible. Yeah. And by the time you get to the end, the crowd's worn out, and you needed, the stuff. I mean, even with Swerve coming out, it was not a huge pop. I mean, it was a pop. It was a pop, but again, because everybody was so damn tired, it was just like. That's the problem. Is like, it's okay to have some false finishes. It's okay, but when you have like every time there's a pinfall, it's like, okay. I mean, it gets tiresome, man, because you get the thing with the match when you make a match is you want to get the crowd up at the beginning, then the heel cuts them off, then you start building the sympathy for the babyface. The heel, the babyface might get a couple, a small package and he feeds up and you clothesline him back down or whatever. Things like that. But like there's got to be arcs to it. And the problem with the matches in AEW is it's this. So you're emotionally invested until you can't be emotionally invested anymore because you're like, Jesus Christ.
You're so burned out.
I'm done.
Burned out, you don't know that.
I'm done, man. I'm done. I can only watch this so much.
Well, if you want, let's jump to the next questionable thing about the pay-per-view was the results to some of these fights, right? Like, did Tony Khan get these results correct? Because it did look like he had storylines for some of these guys.
Yeah.
And then he killed them. He literally like chopped each one of them off. Like, look, he's building Mercedes Moné to be this unstoppable person. She finally loses to Tony Storm. Makes perfect sense because Tony Storm was strong. But now she loses to Chris Statlander? Like, again, questionable call. And I know she has tons of belts, but why lose to Chris Statlander? Is Chris Statlander, with all due respect, I think Chris Statlander is a great girl. She's a great wrestler. But is she to the level of Mercedes Moné or Tony Storm? And by beating Mercedes Moné, does that elevate her to that level? And in my opinion, it doesn't. I don't see it in her. I'm sorry. Even with her beating Mercedes Moné, on the contrary, I'm like, why did that happen? Why did Mercedes Moné lose to this girl? And then again, you could say the same thing with Kyle Fletcher losing. They were building him up like crazy.
you know
They
what's
did a
funny
great
is-
job with him on that.
Yeah, you know what's funny with that one? I didn't realize there was a stipulation in
I
the
knew
match.
I knew
And-
Fletcher was gonna lose because of that
No,
stipulation.
no, yeah. Once I heard that stipulation, I'm like, oh, there's no way Mark Briscoe's losing this thing.
No.
I'm like, there's no way, bro.
Yeah,
There's no way.
So for you guys who don't tune into AEW, if Mark Briscoe would have lost, he would have been part of the Don Callis family now.
Yeah.
So do you really the Don Callis family is starting to become like NWO? They're just
Yeah.
keep adding people left.
Now,
and right.
here's the funny part about that. If Don Callis was a babyface family and Mark Briscoe had the same option, I could see him losing.
Yes.
Because now you make the heel come in and do like the dirty stuff, bring the bat, like, or you could have, I guess, done it to him with that on that too. But like when I heard that and the way they were like hammering it home, I was just like, okay, this is not, there's no way this has happened. There's no way Mark Briscoe lose this. And then the Chris Statlander one, I said, Statlander wins it. I go, I guess the belt collector can't win the big one.
Maybe that's the storyline they're trying to go with. But then is it the right storyline? Like you won every fucking belt. Like why
Yeah.
would you not be able to win the AEW? And what's up, Memo? I saw you there as well. And
Oh,
yeah,
what's up, man? I'm sorry I missed you, man.
and the other thing too is what Chris is saying, bro. Everybody's bleeding like pigs out there, bro.
Oh,
Like,
no, yeah.
like this is insane. How much bleeding every single fight is blood, every single fight, man. And that's a little bit too excessive. Another Tony Khan like
Well,
blunder out there, in my
I
opinion.
think you need to make people, when you use blood, when it means something, man. The problem I think with is it's just used so much where it's like now it has no meaning. You're just like, oh, okay, somebody like at number one, I put, oh, here's blood. 1 minute into the match, 3 minutes in, everybody's bleeding, and it's like, okay, nothing made, nothing to see here. Keep moving on, and it's one of those things to where, no doubt, what's up, man?
So,
It does. You're right. It's almost one of those things where you become, what's the word? Like when you see something over and over, just you don't even realize it anymore. It's just normal now.
well, that Memo puts extremely crappy wrestling. That's ECW. That's not AEW, sir. So you got to come up with some originality when it comes to the AEW side. And I was an ECW fan, but and
I
keep
like
in mind,
ECW to a point. I just
let-
didn't
let me
care for
ask you
everything.
Let me ask you this because ECW was this type of way too, where it was a lot of blood. It was extreme championship wrestling, right?
And it was 5-hour shows.
But did extreme championship wrestling ever grow to its potential? No,
No.
right? It always settled for the hardcore fan.
Yes.
And that's
Yeah.
it.
It
And
did the same thing AEW is doing. It
That's
did the
exact
same
same
thing
thing.
AEW is doing. Yeah.
Now when it comes to Hangman losing to Samoa Joe, I don't think that was a bad call. I think that was the right decision. Samoa Joe is a good heel. Samoa Joe was building momentum, and I think it was right. And now that they brought Swerve, it looks like they're gonna probably team them up together, Hangman and Swerve, working together after all the feud that they had and all that stuff. And then you could probably even actually make it like a crazy storyline where one of them betrays the other and then bring it back like that. So I understand that one. I didn't mind Samoa Joe winning Hangman and getting the belt. And again, I'm just happy, to be honest with you, that we get to see the belt because Moxley had it in a fucking
Yeah,
briefcase for
but
so long.
Here's
that-
the problem I have with it is, and again, this is TK doing a storyline. Okay, so kudos the whole thing that worked out here. My problem was this: Shibata comes down the ringside, and I wrote down Shibata out to the cage, and then I write down Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston fights Shibata back to the back. Here comes Hobbs. He rips the lock off. He gets in there. He gets taken out. And then all of a sudden, Hook walks into the cage. And I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. And then he takes the belt, looks at it, bam, nails Hangman Page. Then he opens up the jacket and it says Ops.
Yep. Betrayal.
But now here's my question. And again, maybe this is where once Hook went with Eddie Kingston, he wasn't even associating with Ops anymore, whether fighting or anything else, storyline wise. And then all of a sudden it's, okay, now we throw Hook back in there. That's my only thing that I like. you kind of like, oh, we put it to the back burner and now we bring it back. Like there should have been, and maybe there was, and I missed them. I didn't see any of those little eggs that we talk about that WWE plants. I didn't remember seeing any of those leading up to the hook with the Ops, because when he came back, he said, no, I'm no longer with you guys. Then Ops went their way, turned heel. And then now all of a sudden, Kingston comes out to save Hangman Page, fights to the back, and then Hook betrays Kingston and Page and goes back to Ops. Like, I don't know where that's going. To me, it feels like there's a disconnect there. Not upset that Hook got an opportunity and do there. I just missed the connection of how it played out to get to where we're at now in this part of the AEW storyline.
I have a question for the chat as well. No Doubt said, I don't like it. You burn my house down, we are done. You burn my house down, we are done. Let me ask you guys in the chat board, if somebody burns your house, will you ever work side by side with that person? Or are you taking that No Doubt route where, hey man, screw you. You're never going to be my friend ever again. You burned my house down. And in my opinion, I feel like No Doubt is completely correct on this one though.
I need to know how much insurance money I get, and then I'll make the decision.
Well, that's a good point. Maybe I don't think Swerve had insurance on that house though. That was a kind of old geezer house. I mean, I know that was his childhood house back in the day. So, but yeah, man. I mean, and then you had also like the other results, which was like the FTR winning again over the
finally.
Over the
Brodito had all that momentum, man, and it's kind of like, okay, FTR, okay.
And it sucks because Brodito did have momentum on their side.
Yeah,
bro.
I didn't expect that loss there. Like, again, I just thought too much in it. I just thought they were too fun of a tag team to be able to just rip it away like that. And hopefully they keep them going and bring them back and things like that, but we'll see.
Yeah, Chris says about women's Arcean. I've never heard of that before. I'm not too knowledgeable about that. Do you know about that? He says wrestling from Japan had women bleeding too back in the day. And he said
yeah. That was during an FMW, the Frontier Wrestling. And I don't know what they called the women's part over there, but yeah, there's blood over there all day. That's where the exploding barbed wire match, like Mick Foley and Terry Funk would go over there and do, crazy. I mean, there was some craziness going on there. There was matches where beds of barbed wire were on the outside of the ring, and they would go into it. Like, it was crazy.
Damn.
But I don't know what the Arcean one. I don't know that 100%, but I do know there was federations in Japan that did that.
And then you had other results like the Kyle O'Reilly beating John Moxley. Did you agree with that? I mean, I get Kyle O'Reilly. They want to push him. It feels like they're putting him a lot more because of the whole situation with Adam Cole. I think I kind of get like a backstory behind that. Like, I think they're pushing him a lot more because there's a very good chance that Adam Cole is never going to wrestle again. So they're pushing him more. And same thing goes with the guy who was in the Gauntlet match. This guy, man, I forgot his name. But he also part of the Adam Cole group and all that stuff of the Gauntlet match and all that stuff. I forgot
Roderick Strong.
Roderick Strong. There you go. So it looks like they're trying to push those guys as well. So I like that. I like that they're giving those guys an opportunity. Mm-hmm. But again, is it the right time? Is Kyle O'Reilly going to grow from beating John Moxley? And I don't see it happening actually.
I don't know necessarily if that's the way they're going with this whole thing, though. I think they end up having Moxley get overthrown in the Death Riders.
You think they're finally going to decimate the Death Riders?
I don't think they're going to decimate it. I think somebody kicks Moxley out of being in charge. Oh. And I think it's going to be Pac.
Well, he didn't. He beat Darby?
He stayed back. Like after the main event, after that match, when he went back in and attacked Kyle O'Reilly, even Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan, whatever you want to call him now, he said, "Where's Pac?" And then all of a sudden, you saw Pac kind of walk up very slowly with his hands in his pockets, because Moxley has tapped out, I think 3 or 4 times now recently.
He has lost a lot.
And it's like they've got to be gearing up to. And again, this is all my thinking. It's got to be more. Yes, it's a good win for Kyle O'Reilly. It gives him a little bit of, a little momentum going up. He just, tapped out Moxley, I think now twice. That's the second time he did during a tag team match. as well. So it starts giving that, that edge to him there. But I think it's more going toward the other side to where it's going to take away Moxley's reign on the Death Riders, I believe.
I like the story. I actually kind of do like that story. I would like to see the Death Riders eventually just get rid of, kind of like what happened with Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, where they turned on him, right? So I could understand seeing it, but here's the question: if you do decide to put Pac eventually as the main guy of the Death Riders, how good is this group gonna last?
I don't know.
You're putting a lot on Pac to be able to maintain the Death Riders.
Well, not only that,
relevance.
but now Pac becomes the voice.
Yes,
And he does have he's okay on the mic, but he doesn't command the room like Moxley does.
Yeah, that's
to me. He's got a good interview style, but I don't know. That's the part that I don't know.
I like the idea.
When you look at it now, but do they say, finally, remember, Moxley always said there was somebody, he had the championship in the bag because it didn't mean something. And back in the beginning, I thought he said, he did it for somebody or something. Maybe now they could roll out that somebody and make it something. I don't know. Again, they definitely need to have a mouthpiece possibly added into that. And then also the other question I would have is Marina Shafir. They've made her a monster.
She's good. I like her.
No, she is. She's grown a lot. She's grown a lot.
And I like that they're using her a lot more now than before.
Yes. But now I wonder what that changes to there, because she's always been Moxley's muscle, really. If you look at it, he's always there to help to protect Moxley. If Moxley gets booted from the group, then what? Does she just go to whoever the leader, is she whoever is the leader's muscle? Does it work that way too? That'll be interesting to see.
Well, what do you think? I know we've been talking about the AEW Full Gear card a little bit, and we got to talk about obviously our picks of Survivor Series, but the Young Bucks going back with Kenny Omega, and are we seeing the Young Bucks going from heels now to babies again? And all of a sudden, is that the right call? Did you like the fact that they're going from heels now to babies? It looks like.
Yeah, I thought they could have strung this a little bit longer, to me, because again, the empathy on the Bucks was that they got that money and then they spend it stupidly, and then you're starting to get sympathy because they're broke and they're coming out as, every damn opening under the sun and this and that, and it's like, but I think, it was the right time, but they could have strung it on a little bit more to get a little bit more sympathy. I don't know if I would have had Omega do the hug right there. I would have had it more been like, I don't know that I can trust you guys yet.
That is true. That's a good point.
And then maybe bring it up to Dynamite. Instead he's like, no, don't handshake, hug. No, I forgive you. And it's like, no, they did a lot of crap. Again, it's back to you burned my house down. I had diverticulitis, had my intestines removed, and you're sitting here trying to super kick me and take me out of action. But hey, all is good. All is good.
We forget about all that.
You gave up $1 million to come save me. Thank you. All is forgiven. You know what I'm saying?
That is a great point, bro.
It's like,
great fucking point. Yeah, I could kill you.
Yeah.
But I didn't kill you. I got close to killing you, but you still love me because it's been over a year, so we're good.
Buddy, let's be the elite again.
Oh, let me give you a hug,
back the video. We can get more YouTube money. Yes.
Jesus Christ, that is crazy. But
it's pro wrestling, man. That's the thing. Some people take it way too serious, bro. Some people take it way too serious. It is sports and it is entertainment. That is it, bro.
Really going that. I mean, I guess obviously the last couple things. I Tony Storm won with Mina Shirakawa. Any other thing from that pay-per-view?
Oh, you know what? That match did not need to be on there, by the way.
That's a good example. Yes, that one.
You know what that match was for?
Yeah, it was like a stipulation for like the
whoever
semifinal.
Won got to pick the stipulation of their semifinal match.
That is so good.
What's the stipulation in the other semifinal match? Like, what are we doing here? That doesn't need to be there. That's just trying to get everybody you can onto this pay-per-view. Like,
yeah, that was, and same thing goes with the Casino Gauntlet. You don't need Ricochet. Granted, I'm happy for Ricochet that he won, but you could have avoided that. You could have probably used that on
You
a
could have put it
Dynamite.
on Dynamite, or you could have made it only 6 instead of 12 people.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt says at this point we might as well have Darby and Jack Perry create a tag team. Oh, yeah. It's crazy,
Oh,
bro.
they might come back, bro. They might bring back the pillars.
I mean, it's intense. Anything else about Full Gear you want to talk about, or we're done with that one?
No, I think that's it, man. It was the long, man. It's long, and the problem with it is it hurt a lot of the good action that was on it, because that's what's being talked about coming out of it. The fact that the crowd didn't react the way they, with Swerve return, because they were tired, man. You're 5.5 hours in. Not to mention, if you take a transportation there, you probably left your house 2 hours before that. So you've been traveling and everything for almost, almost a 10-hour day, 12-hour day by the time you get home. Like,
All right.
that's a lot, man.
All right, now I want to talk about a particular topic that just came up. I was doing some research right now as we were talking. I don't know if you're cool with it, Sean. Before we tackle Survivor Series, and I think it would be pretty cool to kind of talk about this. If you're cool with it, is it okay?
Surprise me, I guess. Yeah, I don't even know what it is, so yeah.
Okay, cool. So I ran into a topic here that was asking, is WWE or AEW having a better 2025 year? Obviously, we're coming to the end of the year. Everybody's celebrating Thanksgiving, Christmas, the New Year's, and happy Thanksgiving to all you guys, obviously, on Thursday. I hope you spend it with your family and friends. So here's the thing. When we're looking back at what WWE has brought and what AEW has brought, and I'm going to bring some stuff up, and then we could compare and contrast. Who do you think? Again, let's put aside the viewership, obviously. We're just talking about focusing just on the wrestling, just on the actual storylines, the wrestlers, what they've given us throughout the whole year. And when you're looking at some of this stuff, I'll bring it up. Obviously, WWE has John Cena, his whole, hey, I'm retiring. This whole tournament all of a sudden has been a hell of a ride for them. On the AEW side and also on the WWE side, the relationships with other promotions, CMLL, obviously TNA, AAA, that type of relationship that has been from WWE, the relationships that AEW still maintains with New Japan Wrestling and the other companies that they deal with. The fact that they're doing events internationally, right? WWE is going abroad more. AEW has gone abroad as well. Ticket sales, obviously, TV streaming, ratings, all that stuff, obviously, all plays a part as well. WWE's ticket pricing, AEW's pricing, being able to watch it on ESPN Plus, going from Peacock. If you want to watch NXT, Peacock, you got some of the Saturday Night main events you're seeing in Peacock. Then you got the AEW, the ESPN Plus on the AEW side. You got HBO, that streaming service through HBO, and then the match qualities. Obviously, the matches that they've been giving us throughout the whole year. Like, hey, the what we're gonna get from Survivor Series. We were comparing it to Blood and Guts. What we got during WrestleMania, what we got in All In. When you add and summarize all that together, Sean, what product, in your opinion, has been better?
Overall, WWE.
Okay, why that?
Just because they're overall. I mean, their partnerships have been more plentiful than any of the AEW partnerships. I mean, look at WWE. You got their stars on TNA. You've got their stars on AAA. You've got AAA on TNA on NXT. You've got TNA stars, which are right now the TNA titles being defended on WWE TV. I mean, it's been a pretty plentiful relationship with their with their performers there, And again, the matches are in the eye of the beholder. It's what you like. WWE fans are going to say, I think they all have good matches. I don't think the in-ring is anything better, or there's different styles when you throw in your Will Ospreays and your guys like that, and they're allowed to wrestle their style in AEW. Then what, WWE's opened up a little bit, but they're still very, very conservative on what, they allow you to do as far as matches. And again, it's one of those things that they cookie cutter everything to where everything's on time. If you're not on time, you're not on TV. Whereas with AEW, you see it run a little long. Production, I mean, nothing beats WWE in the production end of it. No. AEW, I always say this. AEW has great pay-per-views. The problem gets to being sometime is they become monotonous in the fact that it's, let's use a WWE term. It's a banger after a banger after a banger after a banger. And you can only do that for so long. You need to have, a couple bangers on there and then a couple of good matches. The problem is with the AEW pay-per-views is they wear you out emotionally, man. It's up here, it's down here, it's up, it's down. And by the time you're done, it's like you went on a roller coaster. And then guess what? Oh, here comes match number 6. Oh, here's match 7. Oh, here's match 8. Now you got to keep doing this up and down. I think the AEW pay-per-views, again, if you're a casual wrestling fan, you probably go with WWE because it's 2.5, 3 hours and you're out. If you like the more, what I kind of call the independent style where the show just goes on and on and on, you like the AEW style, And again, it's all in the eye of the beholder. I like it all. I like it all. The only problem I've ever had, with AEW, which we've discussed here, is the fact that there's no consistency in storylines and storytelling. Yes, they have a few storylines and a few storytelling, but everything else is just like thrown together the night before or something, it feels like. So overall, I think, again, I would go WWE, but definitely pay-per-view wise, again, depending on what you like, I think you could go with AEW in that aspect.
Well, shout out to Karun. I know he said he was listening while he was running. So shout out to you, man. Running is always good.
Health and World. Nice. I think the first time I seen him on there.
Yeah, man. Awesome.
Hey, you're a Chiefs fan, but we appreciate you, man. Appreciate you being
Tyler,
here.
I'm going to be very honest with you, man. I was at Kansas City when the Dolphins played the Kansas City Chiefs. And I will tell you this. The Kansas City fans were amazing. I have nothing but respect for them. They treated me like I was part of them. So I don't have no beef.
You were at that point when you're in negative 14 degrees. Everybody's a friend.
we were done. Maybe that's why they were so friendly. But man, those Kansas City Chiefs were really cool people out there. I really enjoyed it. I would definitely go again. I don't kicking our ass too, I don't mind going to Kansas City again, but not at that type of weather conditions again. When it comes to my perspective, and I'm looking at this year by itself, WWE and AEW, and like I told you, for me, the storylines, I have to go with what you said. I like the WWE version, though. I think WWE sold us this year with the whole John Cena turn, with the whole John Cena, I guess, tournament, even though it's been a little bit lackluster in my opinion. But I did like the fact that, they focused a lot this year on John Cena since he's retiring. And I don't know, for something in me tells me that this is not going to be the last time we're going to see John Cena after that Saturday night main event. I feel like he's going to eventually be back, not wrestling, but he'll still be able to do like cameos and show up here and there and stuff like that.
He said the end of his wrestling career he didn't say the end of his WWE career. He said the end of his wrestling career.
Oh, cool, man. I appreciate it. We appreciate it, Tyler. Thank you for commenting. I know that this is the first time we kind of see you. So when it comes to the storytelling, I gotta go and say that I do like a little bit more the WWE side than the AEW side. Now, when it comes to the relationships and like with other promotions, again, I have to give the edge on WWE because you're right. You got this whole AAA all of a sudden, the Lucha Brothers making their way over there, Dom being champion. You have Chelsea and Ethan. NXT has grown. TNA wrestlers have signed with WWE. It has been better in that aspect. When it comes to AEW at the beginning, when they first started doing all these changes, I thought it was amazing. But now they're in a little standstill. They're still in that little spot and they're not improving and going anywhere from there. I don't know to what extreme. What else can AEW do to improve that? When it comes to the live events and the international events, and I don't know where Sean went there, he's back again. when it comes to the international events, there I'm gonna lean on AEW, and I'm gonna say this: I don't like the fact that WWE is going more broad, taking WrestleMania, bringing WrestleMania back to Las Vegas, taking WrestleMania now to Saudi
Yeah, but
Arabia,
let me
and all that
ask you
stuff.
this
I don't
though.
like that. I think that sucks.
Hold on a minute. You're saying you give the nod to AEW, but then you're upset that that WWE's over there so much.
Yes.
Like, so what are you giving AEW the nod for? Because they don't go international so much?
I don't go. Yes, they're still keeping the fundamental of their shows and everything, especially their premium live events, their pay-per-views here. Yes, they do go every once in a while over to outside the United States, but I feel like WWE's trend is gonna be more. Hey, we're going more international, and we're gonna sacrifice the American audience for the outside out audience because money talks. And I think
Yeah, no. That
I
the
don't
TKO
like
thing
that.
is yeah.
I don't like that. I
Yeah.
think that sucks, and I don't like that about WWE. I feel like I look, WrestleMania is
Yeah,
this
but
amazing
that
event.
now you're putting preference into it though. You're
No, it's
putting your personal thoughts
do
into
you
it. Yes,
guys
you are.
do you guys okay? Let me ask you this overall, the
But
people on the
if
chat board.
if it's not money, and you saw WWE, the one they did in Australia, and the Saudi shows, you think the AEW international shows are better than
I'm
the
not
WWE shows?
I'm not comparing that the AEW. I'm not comparing the shows internationally between the two. What I'm comparing is the fact that they're taking some of the shows from the United States and taking them too much abroad. I don't like that. I don't mind them having one or two shows here and there,
Yeah, but
but
that's not the thing is about their production and the shows overseas though. It's
yeah,
not
but
the fact that you don't want them to have pay-per-views over there or anything like that though.
nobody.
That's
But I feel that the trend that's gonna happen on the
oh no,
WWE side
what are you
is
talking
that they're
about? The
gonna
trend, there's
that
no
we're gonna
trend, it's already here.
exactly. So we're gonna have a point where you let's say I don't know how many events they do a year, but let's say they do 20 events, and years ago we would see 18, 17 here in the States and three abroad. I think we're gonna come to a point where it's eventually gonna be 10 shows here in the States, 10 shows abroad. Kind of
I
like that,
don't no.
kind of like the NFL. You notice how the NFL keeps expanding over to the Europe side and going to Spain, going to Germany. I feel like that's what the WWE is gonna do because money
No,
talks at the end
I
of the day.
think what you're going to end up getting is you're going to get Royal Rumble and WrestleMania going everywhere. And you're going to
Do
get
you like
Survivor
that?
Series. You're going to get Survivor Series and SummerSlam staying in the States.
But do you like the fact that WrestleMania and
No, I
Royal Rumble are
don't
gonna go
like it, but
abroad?
again, it's a good business mode for them. I don't like it. No, it takes away from us. I get that,
Exactly, yeah.
but TKO's going over there, and again, the Saudi show before tickets are even sold, they've already got $55 million.
Yeah, exactly.
So
All about the
again,
money.
so like, do you
Look,
do it at a show here and not make that money, or do you go over there and get again as a business, TKO is going to ruin WWE. That's however you want to look at it, because again, wrestling has always been a family type show. They are trying to make it a destination show, and it's going to be very interesting to see if they get it to play out because whether everybody wants to like it or not, they are doing better audience draws now when they've raised prices than they were doing before the prices. So
just to give you a quick recap here, WWE had Elimination Chamber in Canada, Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, Clash in Paris in France, and Crown Jewel in Australia this year.
Yep.
While AEW had Wrestle Dynasty in Japan, Forbidden Door in England, and All Out in Canada. So it really wasn't that big of a difference between when it comes to both of them. Only one more by WWE than AEW. But like I do feel eventually what's gonna happen is that they're gonna move to more shows being abroad, and that's what's gonna suck in my opinion. So that's why I kind of give the edge a little bit more to AEW because I feel that they're not gonna go that extreme, and I'm not liking where the companies are viewing this. You understand me?
here's the thing. 55 million for WrestleMania one night, 110 million for 2 nights, or 6 million for Survivor Series. Which way are you going as a business?
No, I mean, come on.
As a business, where are you going?
We know what the business
No, but
is
I'm
gonna
saying,
do.
but that's the problem in the U.S. is like, for them as a company, Survivor Series sold for 6 million. It's 8 million for the indie shows when they're doing it at the Indianapolis Fieldhouse. You do one show in friggin' Saudi Arabia, it's
You're banking.
$55 million, bro. Like,
yeah, you're banking. All right. The other thing I mentioned was the TV ratings and streaming. And when it comes to this, I gotta go on the AEW side. And again, you call
For
me
what?
biased
Which one?
on the TV streaming situation. I prefer the
Oh my
AEW
God.
side. And I'll give
Wait,
you
no, prefer though, but you're not saying they have the better. They
No,
have
no,
the
no,
one
no.
you prefer.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
okay. All right.
and the
No,
reason
because I didn't do bias. I went off of like actuality. To me, WWE is locking down everything, including stuff in Mexico for AAA. And TNA is about to get on ACM, I believe it is, because of the relationship with WWE too. So, that's where I'm going at. I don't prefer. I look at it and say WWE's got the better streaming deals.
for me, the reason I prefer the AEW side than the WWE side is because if you want to watch AEW events, you tune into TNT, TBS, you tune into HBO Max, and you pay for the pay-per-views. They make it simple, and I'm old school. I'm the type of person who just, hey, I have a way to look at it, and that's it. When it comes to the WWE side, there's so much wrestling, you have to purchase a lot more, so it's hurting my pocket a lot more when it comes to that.
Wait, for what?
Hold on. I wish we had better the Netflix type of vibes that the Europeans have. If I had a independent VPN and I'm able to do that, which I've heard a lot of people do that actually, and it actually works. Then I would lean more on the WWE side because it's all in one network, and I'm fine with that. But the fact that I have to go and have Peacock for NXT pay-per-views, for the Saturday night main events, I have to have ESPN Plus for the live premium events. I have to go to YouTube to go watch AAA, and I'm pretty sure eventually they're gonna probably make it like a subscription thing in order to watch it over there as well. It's just, for me, it's just too much. I gotta have Netflix in order to watch Monday Night Raw. I gotta go to USA Channel to go see SmackDown. That's 5, 6, 7 different streaming services or TVs channels I have to go in order to watch WWE WWE content. I get it. I get their format again. The TKO. Hey, I want to make money, right? So that's what's the best way to do it is by spreading the wealth, right? But at the same time,
No, they go after who gave them the best money offer. That's what
yeah,
you get. Whoever gives you the best money offer.
you spread your talent, you
But
spread
the
your
thing
work,
is,
and you
like-
get
like-
returns for it.
I think you need to call like your companies and work out better deals, man.
I agree. I think
Because I
I
get
think-
Peacock through Comcast.
I don't
So
have
that's
Comcast.
done.
I don't
I
have
get the
Comcast.
ESPN Plus through Hulu.
What I
And
don't
then
have
Netflix
Hulu.
we all get. Yeah, but again, I'm saying, but like you're like, oh, I gotta do all these things. No, you don't.
Sean, you pay for
You
Hulu,
really don't.
right? You pay for Hulu, right?
Yeah, I got Hulu Live. Yeah.
Okay, so
Hulu Live.
you Hulu Live costs what? 50, 60, 70, 80 bucks? I don't know how much it is. How much is
Yeah,
Hulu Live more or less?
89.
89. Okay.
Mhm.
Now let's look at Peacock. You have Peacock through, what did you say? Through
Comcast. It's free through Comcast.
Do you have Comcast for free?
With my internet.
Okay, so Comcast gives you Peacock, but you're paying for the internet, right? So, and if Comcast wants to be dicks, they could go ahead and be like, "Hey, now we're not going to offer you Peacock. You're going to have to pay for
No,
extra
because if
credits."
they do
They could
that,
do
then
that.
they balk on my contract that I signed for 5 years.
No. I'm saying
So-
after you could sign a Comcast deal for 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never done that before.
Business,
But okay.
baby, business.
Okay, then
LLC.
and then Netflix. You're paying for Netflix, right?
Yeah, but everybody watches Netflix, so it's not. I mean, I was
How
going
much
to pay for it.
how much
anyways.
do you pay for Netflix?
Whatever it is. What is it? $17.99 for the HD or whatever it
It's
is.
just $20, right? And then what's other things that they have on there? Probably if you want to watch YouTube, it's free, but if you want it without commercials, stuff like that, you would have to pay
No, I
extra. for the
don't
commercials.
play the
No,
commercials.
well,
Play the 5 seconds. I'll skip it.
yeah, but let's say you pay for the non-commercials. I think it's like $10 or something like that. Just in those three, and again, you have Comcast. I don't have Comcast. I have DirecTV. So you have those three right there. That's literally 100. So 90 plus 20, 110, 120, 110, and then 120 with the YouTube if you were to pay for the commercial. So literally, you're paying $120 just to watch wrestling content. When you're looking at AEW, again, and this is on a monthly basis. Now, when you're looking at AEW, I pay DirecTV. Again, I just look at it based on the fact that I have it gives me a TNT and TBS. It also gives me USA channels, so those work on my behalf. They directly finally got the fucking ESPN thing correct, because they were only allowing to get the ESPN Plus for free if you had the streaming service. They finally gave it to the home base, so I don't have to pay for the ESPN Plus. So that's good on my end. But remember, I am paying about, again, like about $90 or $100 on DirecTV as well. And then after that, I have to pay for Netflix, for WWE. I don't pay anything for AEW. And when it comes to their pay-per-views, it's up to you if you want to pay the pay-per-view for um on TV or on one of their other streaming services, or if you just want to pay it on the HBO Max that they do, the HBO Plus that they have. I don't pay for that because I don't think I need all that stuff, and I get to pick and choose what shows I want to watch when it comes to the AEW pay-per-views. For me, I just like better the AEW version. I think I'm old school. I like everything almost in one place, and if I feel like AEW is a little bit more like that compared to WWE, where they have it spread across everything. Yes, correct. You're right. For you, it's economical because obviously you're
But
not
it's not
paying.
only that, it's like you're penalizing them because they are a wanted brand, whereas AEW is not.
But I'm
Just saying. I'm just saying.
we're different because we're
It
different than
is
the
what it
common
is,
wrestler,
but
because we're hardcore wrestlers. We hardcore fans. I mean, we love the wrestling, so we're gonna tune in. And then, granted, look at Chris. Chris be watching freaking wrestling all over the place. Like he was watching
well,
Argentina.
usually if you're watching it through the VPN, you can get it pretty
Oh yeah, it could
everywhere. I mean, it's pretty good there. And then real quick, Tyler Helton said, back up the thing, he says, hot take, I think WWE is turning UFC business. No, it's already the UFC business model. Once TKO took over, that is the TKO business model that they're running now. The problem is it's taken time to roll it out because they were getting a fight from people inside WWE. The problem is once they rolled it out and saw that people were still buying tickets, the people that were fighting it inside said, well, if they're going to pay for it, then let's do it. And that's where we're at now.
Okay, and then the last thing, obviously, that we talked about, and you mentioned it, is on the eye of the beholder, which is the match quality. Um, I like
But you
AEW.
also didn't mention that the AEW pay-per-views are $49.99 on Prime, and you have to have a Prime membership, which is another $15.
No, you could buy the pay per view on Thriller, like Tyler said. You don't need a subscription for that.
This last one, I believe, was just on Prime.
I don't.
And Triller, you do need a subscription for. Triller TV, you need a subscription for. Because that's
No.
where you get all the other independent shows on Triller TV.
All right, well,
Unless they give you the pay-per-view free. I've never used it as far as pay-per-view goes, but when I've watched GCW and all those, usually some of them are free, but
well, Tyler, let me know if Tyler, if you
Subscription.
use Triller, because I remember using Triller and I don't remember subscribing to them because I've
No,
had
not if you do the pay-per-view because it's $50, so you probably don't care if you subscribe or not. Just give them
yeah.
$50.
I've watched pay per views on Triller and I'm not subscribed to Triller. I just buy the pay per view.
All right, then maybe it's just the 50 then.
And then
$49.
the match quality. And when it comes to the match quality, I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna pick AEW. I think AEW has better matches. Sometimes when it comes to the longevity,
But hold on a minute though. Let me ask you this: as a whole,
the whole
as
year,
a whole, you think
match quality.
I know there's moments that are better for AEW, but as a whole, you think the match quality at AEW has been better than the WWE quality as a whole?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't been sold on some of these matches that WWE has given me. The Saturday night main events have been ass. Goldberg versus Gunther was ass.
But again, it's not the storyline though. The match
Again,
quality
we're
is inside the ring.
Exactly.
And Goldberg's ass anyway, so I'm not sure why we're throwing Goldberg in there. Like
Josh,
we're comparing our
taking-
matches off of Goldberg.
He's taking no,
Dude,
but I'm
once
talking about the whole year.
Once Goldberg bangs his head on the door, the match is over.
Talking about the whole year.
The match goes to hell from there.
I'm talking about the whole year. The matches out there when it comes to the WWE versus the AEW in ring, disregarding the storylines, just the matches. AEW always, in my eyes, has the better notch. You put a
Okay.
Will Ospreay match against John
No,
Cena, the
I
greatest
get
of all
that.
time.
Look,
I'm gonna pick
I'm not.
Will Ospreay.
I get again that I'm saying as a whole though, not Will Ospreay's gonna outmatch any. But again, I'm saying as a whole, all the matches inside WWE, you're saying the matches from AEW as a whole are better than what you've seen from WWE. Okay. Again, I'm not talking about just your Will Ospreay matches. I'm not just talking about your pay-per-view matches. I'm talking about as a whole. You think it's been better. Your Dynamites, your Collisions, your all those TVs have been better than all those. Okay. All right.
I also do feel that Sean did get speared by Goldberg at one point in time in his career. That's why he
No.
hates so much.
No, I'm not dumb enough to get in the ring with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm gonna be very honest with you. We had a couple of weeks ago where we voted what was the best matchup, I believe,
No,
that
I
we
get it.
enjoyed with the women's, and that one, and we picked
My
Tony
top
Storm versus.
five, my top 5 matches of the year might be AEW matches, but that don't mean as a whole for the year that AEW had better matches than WWE. That's all I'm saying.
We will beg to. I guess we'll agree to disagree when it
We
comes to
agree
our
to disagree.
decision,
Definitely.
because at the end of the day, I feel like the Dynamite matches are better.
That's what makes
Collision,
wrestling. So
Collision. I don't tune in too much about Collision. I'm not a big fan of Collision, but when I have to, then some of their matches there have been very entertaining as well. But when I'm
okay.
looking at the main thing, which I'm gonna go with WWE SmackDown, WWE Monday Night Raw, and then AEW Dynamite, and then their live premium events and their pay per views, I felt that the wrestling in AEW has been better. I think SmackDown has been shitty the last couple of weeks. The last couple of months has been really bad. Some of their matches have been lackluster. I mean, Julia, the way she fought
Yeah,
and they
but
haven't
again,
used
you're
her.
talking about story and creative.
No. I'm talking about the matches. Julia has had
Julie hasn't
shitty
been in a
matches.
freaking match.
She had a match and
So what
lost.
are we
She
talking
lost
about?
against Chelsea Green. That wasn't a good match. Nikki Bella, Becky Lynch hasn't been great matches. Again, I'm not picking on WWE. I'm just saying
I'm not saying you
I'm
are,
just
but I'm
looking
just saying like
overall,
I don't
and
I
there's nothing
watch
wrong with that.
Dynamite. I get it, but like I can't put pay-per-view to pay-per-view. I'm going AEW all the time. But like when you start putting like Dynamites and Raws and SmackDowns, like I don't know, man. I again,
I think
that's
you're
what
being.
makes
I think
that's
you're.
what makes wrestling what wrestling is. It's in the eye of the beholder.
I think you're being
Because
sold. You're sold. You're sold more in WWE because they give you more content than AEW. They give you NXT. They give you Monday Night Raw. They give you SmackDown. They give you NXT pay per views. They give you regular live premium events. They give you Saturday nights as well. So they're giving you a lot more compared to AEW. When you shrink everything, when you put it all together, there's some really bad wrestling in WWE in my eyes than in AEW. Not to say that AEW has perfect wrestling either. They have shitty wrestling there too. I'm not gonna lie. But when I look at both companies, I AEW's in my eyes, their wrestling is a little bit better. Sometimes a little bit too gruesome too. I like the gruesome. I'm not gonna lie. So putting friggin', like stepping on people's faces with glass and shattering and stuff like that, I find that more entertaining. Some of you guys
yeah.
are not. So it's just
Again, that's where we trail that way. So, and then Tyler said, yeah, they do a lot of the pay-per-views without. So yeah, he follows. Yeah, GCW and Hog. I haven't really followed House of Glory so much as Game Changer. I do follow Game Changer from time to time, but I do not follow it as much as I probably should.
So
I need to get back into that with the Triller actually.
So when I put all perspective, I think just this year, again, I'm just comparing this year. I'm not comparing the companies overall or anything like that. I'm just talking about this year. If I have to pick one or the other, WWE or AEW, I think AEW has had a little bit, in my eyes, a little bit better of a year when you compare all these criterias compared to WWE. Not to say that WWE sucks or anything like that. I'm pretty sure I'm probably not the norm. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are gonna go with WWE, but that's just how I feel. Obviously, Sean said WWE. I said AEW. So
yeah, we probably should have just said that at the beginning. That's probably what everybody knew was going to happen, anyways. Mr. AEW.
Okay, let's go with our Survivor Series pick.
Yeah, let's go to Survivor Series picks. All right. The terrible thing that is WWE wrestling.
Oh my God, why you gotta blow it like that, bro?
Here we go.
Jesus Christ.
Here we go. The first terrible match, Women's World Championship match. Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella.
Look, man, I shout out to the Rainy Day podcast. They always talk about those type of Nikki Bella and all that. And I always write on the chat board when I watch their show is Nikki Bella can do no wrong because she's so hot.
Oh, you're so wrong, man.
That's just me, man. That's just me.
This is one of the reasons you're going with AEW over WWE. They put Nikki Bella in too many matches this year.
Nikki Bella's so hot. They could put Nikki Bella in 20,000 matches. I don't care. I want to see Nikki Bella. That's just me. Sorry, man. That's just how it is. Call me whatever you want to call me, but that's what I'm gonna go with.
I'll call you maybe.
But with that being said, I don't see Nikki Bella winning this. Just because she's wrestling doesn't mean she's gonna win. I definitely feel that Stephanie Vaquer is gonna win this, and I said Vaquer wins this. I would be shocked if Nikki Bella wins.
I will tell you this: the only way Nikki Bella better win is if Brie Bella joins at WWE and takes out Stephanie Vaquer with Nikki Bella. That's the only way. If Nikki Bella wins clean, you know what? I'm gonna change my vote and say AEW is better.
You're such an ass, dude. All right, so who are you gonna pick? I'm picking Stephanie Vaquer, and I don't think Nikki Bella's sister is gonna come. So
yeah, no, I got Stephanie. There's no way.
All right, cool.
Intercontinental title match. John Cena, the champ, is here taking on Dominic Mysterio.
Oh, you know what WWE should do. Come on.
I know what they're doing. I already know.
You know what they have to do. If they don't get this shit right, I'm gonna be pissed as hell. All day, Dom Mysterio. Now, don't let me down, WWE, because I'm already per Sean, I'm a hater. But and Josh and some of you guys on the chat board. But don't do me wrong, WWE. Dom wins this. Just letting you know. If they give it to Cena, I'm gonna be pissed as hell. You, Sean.
Oh, this is gonna go pretty funny because I agree with you. I think if John Cena leaves Survivor Series with the Intercontinental title, you've totally read the room wrong. WWE, Triple H, Road Dogg, whoever else is in there writing for all these shows, because it will.
You're more of a troll. Screw you, no doubt. I'm not a troll. What are you talking about, bro? I'm an AEW.
It will be interesting.
If Dom wins, I will riot. Wow, Josh. Dom hater out here.
Get ready to riot, buddy. Get ready to riot, because John Cena cannot go into his last match with the Intercontinental title, because then that means what, Gunther or whoever. Like, I don't get why that match doesn't need a title. It doesn't. Dom, to me also, I said it the other week, Dom doesn't need a title back.
He does.
But I think the better story is give Dom the title back and go back to the Rusev or whatever you want to do with it. And that is the better chase than have John Cena fighting his last match with it, win or lose against whoever, and then he puts the Intercontinental title, just hands it over? When he leaves the building, he just hands the IC title as he goes off into the sunset on the horse?
Look, man, for WWE to get this right, is they got to mimic the exact same thing that they did with Eddie Guerrero. So you got to keep building Dom all the way. How do you keep him? Building him up by giving him back his title. Give him his belt. He's eventually, at one point in time, going to take that leap, and then it's going to be it's like a cycle. It's going to be the exact same thing as Eddie Guerrero, where everybody is going to praise Dom for finally winning the heavyweight championship belt. That's what I'm looking at. This is how it's being structured. No,
it's going to progress. Yeah, it needs to progress that way. You know what's interesting, too? This is a stadium show. I don't think there's going to be big. What if they brought Liv Morgan back out to help Dom beat John Cena?
Not a bad idea.
Now, I don't know what her situation. I haven't heard anything on. I don't even know if she's still. I know she filmed the WrestleMania commercial and she looked okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if she still has any injuries or anything like that. But at these stadium shows, there's always usually a surprise here or there. Sometimes not a great one, but again, there's something there that happens, and I just feel like
that wouldn't be a bad idea.
It's not going to happen in the War Games matches, I wouldn't think, unless maybe like a Jey Uso turn or something like that. But if you bring Liv back in when it looks like Cena's got this match won, Liv pops up on a thing out of nowhere, might be a little thing to be like, a little holy shit chant or something.
I mean, for me, if I'm thinking outside the box in this matchup, I think for me, I'm out to, and Josh says that he doesn't think that the right person to pass the torch is Dom, but whatever.
This isn't Cena passing a torch. Like it's not passing a torch. Cena passed the torch to Cody. The heavyweight title was the torch. Cena's just now like, they did this to Cena for being like, thank you for your 25 years of service. You're now a Grand Slam champion, 24 and a half years into your career, or 24 years and 10 months into your career. You finally got what The Miz has gotten twice. Kofi Kingston's got. Like, I mean, it's just funny to me, man. When you look back at it all.
Now, let me ask you something, because LA Knight is supposed to be wrestling a wrestler, but they haven't announced it because of Sheamus's injury. Is that on SmackDown? This
yeah, it's already recorded. It's already recorded. The spoiler's out there.
Who is the spoiler?
Do you want to know?
Yeah, tell me. Yeah.
If you don't want to know, you can turn down your volume in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome.
Oh my God. Yes, Josh kind of like spread. He also kind of spoiled it for all of us. Damn, that's so lame, bro. Jesus, so lame.
Dude, but I don't know what you guys expected out of this tournament. You're like, oh, it's going to be Jericho. It's going to be for what, bro? Like, yeah, it's once they said a tournament, I was like, oh, this is just going to be in-house or TNA or maybe a Joe Hendry. Like they're not, what are you going to do? Bring in Chris Jericho to wrestle 3 times to get to fight John Cena? No, if you bring him in to fight John Cena, it's to fight John Cena. Once they say
you know what?
It's gonna be no WWE guys.
This is what I hope. If I was WWE, this is the WWE Frankie writing stories here for WWE here. If I really wanted this, I would go ahead and I would have Chris Jericho come out to Survivor Series, cost John Cena the IC belt. Dom wins. Chris Jericho has the upper hand over John Cena. John Cena is going to be upset. What happens next is somebody in the tournament gets hurt. Now, I don't know who. I don't know if it's going to be on Monday night or it'll be on SmackDown, but you go backstage, whoever's in that next round, he has hurt that person, and then Chris Jericho is in that tournament involved as well. And then Chris Jericho's like, not only did I cost John Cena his belt, but I'm going to win this tournament and beat him again just to prove my point that I am better than him and he's not the greatest of all time. And that, my friends, would be storytelling by Frankie Fresco right there.
I wouldn't. You mean after the finals are done, right? Whoever the opponent is the one that gets laid out?
You could do that in the finals, or you could do it in
I would do it after the finals winner, the night of the match, he's laid out.
Good.
Because again, if you don't do it before that, then Jericho still got to wrestle a match to get to face John Cena.
But Jericho,
so you let the tournament play. You let the tournament play out, and then they bid. But here's the thing: if it's Gunther, it's not gonna. I mean, that's the thing. Like, if they did LA Knight, I could possibly see that being a fruition.
They gotta switch that tournament up. That tournament sucks.
Dude, it's not. It's just there's not gonna be any. Think about John Cena, man.
Oh, I love to chest slaps. What are you talking about? No doubt.
John Cena has been the most plain guy, I think, in wrestling that has gotten over. I mean, he changes his color depending on the town. He does the hustle, loyalty, respect for 25 years. And then you thought the tournament was going to be extravagant? Cena's about giving back. Think about it. I said this before. He wants all the matches on that card to be exhibition matches, main roster guys against NXT guys, so NXT guys can get, that comeuppance in a house full of people there to see John Cena. Like Triple H wanted to be a John Cena tribute memorial type thing. And Cena's like, no, I don't want people 2 hours of just Cena. No, it needs to be the future. That's who Cena is. That's why I don't understand. It wasn't never going to be this. I get us as fans. We want to throw people in there, but it was never going to be a crazy ass tournament. Like that's not who Cena is.
And that's where it's messed up about Cena. Sorry, Cena, man. But you got to be selfish a little bit sometimes. The WWE world will survive after and will continue after. You don't
he knows that, but he does
hold on.
either, bro.
Hold on. I'm going to go.
Go ahead.
The WWE world, the WWE universe does not need the NXT talent to be showcased at a Saturday night main event. They're eventually going to make it. The guys who deserve it are going to make it. The Trick Williams, the Joe Henrys, all those guys will eventually make it. Yeah, John Cena's being nice and doing that stuff. Sorry, John Cena. Be selfish. Pick who you want. Do you. This is supposedly your last hurrah. This is your last match, right? Why am I, and I know it's not in your heart to be selfish, but it's my last hurrah. Like, this is your night. Like, it why not just take advantage of it? Be like, look, the future for WWE is still gonna be there. WWE ain't going nowhere after you leave. WWE's a machine. So that's great that you want to promote and push these people, but
this
you,
is why
bro?
Cena's heel run didn't work. This is why Cena's heel run didn't work, because Cena's not that selfish guy. Cena's not. That's not who he is, bro.
What's up, Samurai? It says, man, Frankie's still on this week later.
Yep,
on this
yep.
week later. Come on,
Yep.
come
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
Samurai.
Of
Come
course
on,
he is.
Samurai.
Of course he is.
Come on. Because the tournament
It's
sucks,
WWE.
Samurai.
If it was AEW, he'd be like, "Oh, Tony Khan needs to do a 6-hour show on John Cena only.
All right, let me ask you, chat board.
Every
Chat.
hour, John Cena wrestles
People-
somebody new."
People on Rumble, people on X, people on Twitch, people on YouTube. Shouldn't John Cena be a little bit selfish and just think about himself, right? What's wrong with that? Sometimes you do got to look out for yourself more than everything else. He has given 25 years for WWE?
Yep.
Dude, you're giving everything. Like, why are you so nice? Like, why are you giving everything to WWE? You already done your job, bro. Like, if he was an asshole throughout his 25 years, then I could understand that. He has given everything to WWE. So
Yes, because he knows WWE is giving everything to him. He doesn't have what he has without WWE.
correct.
And the fans and everything else.
So there's nothing wrong with him being a little bit selfish. And Triple H wanted to go and say, hey, we're going to go and make you the John Cena night. And this is what we're going to do. John Cena should have been like, you know what, man? I deserve it. I busted my ass for so many years. I pushed so many people over. I've done everything for WWE. And I've always thought about the other person. I'm going to take it this year. This year's going to, it's like on your birthday, right? You have your birthday, right? You're not going to give the flowers to a friend. It's your birthday. It's your night. You're gonna celebrate it. We're cherishing. When we went to go bowling, Sean, and for your birthday, I didn't go and get a hey guys, come on, cheer me, bro, because I'm here. I'm Frankie Fresco. No, it was your night. We gave you your praise because
But I gave
you're right.
everybody an essence of me at my birthday party. I made it about everybody else.
No, but you also signed. You gave us photographs and signed, which I have my right here. See, so literally, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Stanley thought about himself, which is nothing wrong. It was cool. Because it was your night, dude. So that's what I'm just trying to say. Just be a little bit selfish, John Cena. There's nothing wrong.
All right, so who do you got, Cena or Dom? I mean, we're going here. Let's go.
Yeah, I kind of diverted. Come on, man.
Yeah,
I told you,
did.
Dom, all day, Dom.
All right, Dom it is. I agree with you. Women's War Games match. Jesus Christ. This War Games match is like, this is a Tony Khan original right here. Honestly, this match reminds me of Tony Khan. AJ Lee,
Why?
Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky thrown together to take on Becky Lynch, Kabuki Warriors, Nia Jax, and Lash Legend, who have been a tag team for 3 weeks. Like, hey, we gotta get people on the card. All right, let's team up Nia, make them monsters. All right, they'll attack the champions. Now we'll throw them in War Games. What? Come on, man.
Sean,
Be better. Be better.
What be better? That's actually, I actually like the women's war games. I think that the war games of the women is gonna be way better than the guys' war games. I told you, I sent you a message privately saying, look at this bullshit. Jey Uso,
Yeah, it's the bloodline. It's the bloodline angle. Sami Zayn's out. Cody's in. Yeah, no, I know.
Now, talk to me about lazy storytelling, lazy booking right there. Now that is lazy.
But that match at least, has the whole
What?
more of a story than what this one has.
What, the same shit? Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns? What we've seen
Becky and
over and over
AJ
again?
Lee. Becky and AJ Lee. All of a sudden,
But we don't see it.
they're not going to
We
have
haven't
one.
seen them in years.
They don't have one singles match against each other, but it's War Games. They haven't even fought each other one-on-one yet.
Yeah, but AJ Lee and
How has
CM
it
Punk
escalated to
versus
this?
Seth and Becky, that's heated rivalry right there. You feel me? The Becky,
Okay.
AJ Lee has been in costume, and then on top of that,
Heated rivalry.
AJ Lee cost Becky Lynch her belt, her IC belt. She lost it to Maxine Dupree. Maxine Dupree has no business winning the IC belt. Let's keep it real. I love Maxine Dupree, but come on, man. A lot of those things have been because of AJ Lee. AJ Lee has screwed over Becky Lynch. And when you look at the whole hostility between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, you don't know how those two girls are going to match. They kind of let their differences to the side, but you don't know. And then they're bringing in Lash Legend. The WWE world is finally going to get a taste of what Lash Legend is all about. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about this matchup way more than the guys. I'm telling you right now. I'm excited more.
Again, it's how we look at it. To me, War Games should be, like with cage matches, they should be used to end feuds, not begin feuds.
What do you mean begin feuds? I mean, come on, bro. There has been feuds between these girls along. The only one you could probably say that there's no feud was Lash Legend, because Lash Legend just got put in here. But besides that, there's been feuds between Becky and AJ Lee. There's been feuds between the Kabuki Warriors and
She hasn't wrestled for 10 years. Where was the feud?
I just told you, the CM Punk, AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, and then her costing Becky Lynch the IC belt with Max.
And that goes to War Games because it's time to bleed, to fight, and scratch.
And you look at the history between those two ladies. There's history from years ago that they're reminiscing some history. You burn my house, I'm gonna be pissed at you.
No, you won't. You'll stand side by side as the pay-per-view goes off the air. Both making mean faces.
With that being said, this was a little bit tough for me, but I'm going to give it to AJ Lee, Ripley, Sky, Bliss, and Flair winning this one. I got the women win, the babies winning this one.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think, damn it, Kairi Sane is eating the pen on this one. Yeah, I agree with you, the babies. I just don't see.
Wow, we're agreeing on a lot of these.
Yeah, well, no, because again, I don't see Lash or Nia taking the pin, and I don't see Becky taking the pin because they're gonna have to keep the Becky AJ Lee thing going. So the safe bet would be Kairi Sane getting pinned,
No, and you could start a feud between Charlotte again and Rhea Ripley, or Alexa Bliss turning on Charlotte Flair, because they're saying that might happen as well. So there's a lot of.
But the thing there goes, I feel like there's going to be a change going in the men's War Games. So I don't know how much you do in the women's War Games, because then you're doing the same thing in the men's. If that makes sense at all.
I think the men's War Games is going to be straightforward, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it probably will be, but I'm hoping it won't be.
Yeah, so LA Knight not being in the men's War Game still makes 0 sense. 100%, Samurai. Classic WWE punishment for getting over.
What does
classic WWE punishment for him getting that
Jesus
sign
Christ.
out and saying, "Hey, why the hell is Jey Uso in the damn stupid War Games when I should be in it?" That's the.
Where does LA Knight fit into the War Games?
He's had feuds with these guys. He's had feud with Solo. He has feud with those guys over there. All the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, great with Solo, but Solo's not in the match.
Oh, that's true. Solo isn't in the match. You're absolutely
No, it's the Vision. It's the other thing. LA Knight makes no sense. You're trying to TK this shit. That's the problem. Go back to AEW where you belong.
You're right. I got that. My bad. My
Oh,
bad. You're
LA
right.
Knight has to be on here. Okay. Rainy Day podcast.
Here's the thing. Not Solo in that group. I'm talking. My bad. My apologies. What I'm saying is he had that feud with Seth Rollins about the title. About
when
him
they did the
beating
whole
him and
thing
all.
with him, the leg and all that shit.
And then you have Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed was involved with Paul Heyman and all that stuff. So all that plays a part in it. And then on top of that, you bring in another story
Yes,
where you don't know if he's gonna turn on CM Punk. That's what makes it really,
but
really
here's my
entertaining.
thing though. If you bring him in, you expect him to do the swerve. I believe the swerve is Jay. So why are you bringing LA Knight to swerve, Jay to swerve?
Because they're not gonna turn Jay, bro.
We might as well bring Swerve Strickland in.
We have not seen Jay turn, and I don't think that's gonna happen. WWE,
I think it will.
No.
I called up my sources. I called up my sources in San Diego, 619, and I was told this: the Uso shit might happen.
Now we got sources up in this bitch?
Yeah. I was told the Uso shit might happen. And the other thing I was told was Goldberg's a piece of shit.
Oh! Then you know what? If that source told you that Goldberg is a piece of shit, that's definitely not a reliable source. I'm just saying.
Very reliable.
Jay Uso
Goldberg walked out of a signing. Piece of shit.
Dan Marino has walked out of a signing. Is Dan Marino
That's
shit?
right. He needs mittens.
Is Dan Marino shit?
What?
I said Dan Marino walked out of signings as well. Is he?
Did he hurt you? Did Dan Marino hurt you? Did he walk out of signing your isotoner gloves?
Negative, sir. Here's the inside source from Frankie Fresco.
Okay,
And
go ahead.
Super Bowl was in Jacksonville, and Frankie Fresco was in the University of Florida as a college student. One of my friends, shout out to my boy Ronnie, who used to work with me all back at Albertsons. This is how old school I am. Albertsons. I used to work for Albertsons grocery store and F Albertsons. That's why they went out of business, I hope, or not. I always promise myself that the only time I'll step foot in an Albertsons is to take a shit. Anyways, sorry for the graphic image. Ronnie hit me up. Frankie, we need Jacksonville's having a Super Bowl, having the Super Bowl. We need they're looking for security for like guys to like kind of like not security, but kind of like be the ones who are there when the fans are there to sign. I said, yeah, bro, no worries. So what happened? Ronnie went ahead. He hired me. He hired my boy X. All three of us drove to Jacksonville. When we went to Jacksonville, look at I worked at Albertsons in high school. Screw Albertsons. I gotta tell you guys a story, and you guys will flip out about my story how I quit Albertsons. But long story short, I made my way to Jacksonville. There was a signing at that time. There were 4 people that were signing. I'll never forget. Well, it's been a long time. My memory sucks. Dan Marino, OJ McDuffie, Clayton, and Duper were the 4 people that were signing at that time. Clayton, Duper, OJ McDuffie stayed for 3 fucking hours signing. You know how long Dan Marino signed to fans? 15 fucking minutes. And excuse my cursing. 15 fucking minutes. Go F yourself, Dan Marino. That's why I have no respect.
How do you know he didn't have something else to do? Did you check his schedule, his itinerary?
Because when he freaking got up, he said, yo, I'm tired of signing. I'm out. Literally said it to the fans. I said, what an asshole. This is the legend that we have.
A terrible security guard. You should be paying attention to the surroundings instead of trying to listen to what Dan Marino's saying.
And this is not my fault that he was an asshole. That goes to show you how much of a prick he was. He said it out loud for the fans to fucking hear it and disagree. He said it that loud. I'm done signing this shit. And he walked out. What an asshole. So, yes. Sorry, man. I'm not a Dan Marino fan. Sorry. Great talent.
They probably bought up memorabilia that they wanted to sell. And he was like, I'm done with it. Like wrestlers at the airport.
Well, then don't sign up for that shit. Don't sign up anything. If you're going to be a prick, don't sign shit. Sign shit for the fans, especially Super Bowl weekend, mother sky, because you're there because it's the Super Bowl. So come on. 15 minutes while the other 3 guys literally stayed there for 3 hours. That's why OJ McDuffie is a trooper. Mark Duper and Clayton fucking troopers out there. Those guys I respect. I even ran into OJ McDuffie a couple weeks ago, and he still remembers me. He's like, Frankie, I still remember you. I said, yeah, because we've run into each other plenty of times. Great fucking guy. Shout out to my boy OJ McDuffie. Sorry, you pissed. Just talking about that moment pisses me off, and then I reminisce on Albert.
Jesus. Nico Coleman, thank you, sir, for joining in. Dolphins finishing 10-7. We can hope.
Yo,
We can hope.
that's the Trapio, bro. You changed your name to Trapio? Damn.
Oh, is that? I was like, wait. I thought the Coleman might have been, the Frankie Fresco tag.
No, that's my brother, man. 93. That's his year he was born. Sorry.
Wow, that's the year I graduated high school.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. But going back, yes, Jey Uso should have not been in that War Games. They should have put an LA Knight because of the feud. But
it makes so much sense. I mean, what we should do? They should be like, you know what? We only have 4 matches on the card. In tribute of Tony Khan, we're gonna throw together a POS Survivor Series style match, and we're just gonna throw everybody in the cage that's left in the back, and let them fight. That way, everybody makes it on there.
Going to the main event here.
Yes, the men's War Game match. What do you got?
I got the heels winning, bro. I think Brock Lesnar, especially after Brock busted his ass this past weekend, it's not a good look for the heels. They need a win. They need a dub, man. Give it to the heels, bro. I got the heels.
I just hope they make it to the ring.
I wonder if Brock Lesnar's gonna freaking bust his ass again going to the ring. Just going inside at all.
Probably is why he left. He saw Frankie and was like, "Oh, that's that fucking guy there. I ran him at Albertsons. He's a pain in the ass. I'm out of here."
If Dan Marino ever stepped foot in an Albertsons, I'll be shocked. Dan Marino thinks that his shit don't stank. Sorry. Who you got?
I think I got the heels too, man. We're gonna the same thing. Yeah, because I said already. I said already. I think there's gonna be some shenanigans in this one because again, you got to have something coming out of this match because you got all your champions in there. So you got Cody. You've got, all of that stuff going on there. You've got Roman talking about both titles. You got so much dissension on that one side. They're not going to be able to make it, I don't think.
Yeah, man. I mean, they could go with the babies, but dude, the heels need to win big time, man. You gotta elevate Lesnar. I'm sorry, not Lesnar. Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, McIntyre's always been getting L's. Logan Paul has no reason to be there, but just a sub in, And then you got Brock Lesnar.
He became the Seth Rollins for the group. He got Seth Rollins' spot, basically. That's what he got.
He did. And if Seth Rollins would have been in the War Games, with more reason, LA Knight should have been in the War Games instead of Jey Uso.
I think maybe they might have changed the teams if it would have been Seth. I think you're right. If you put Seth in there, that changes a couple things. Then you probably take Jimmy out and you put LA Knight there.
Yeah.
That would work then because of the LA Knight Seth. I just think that's too many damn unknowns on that side to where the whole match, all you're waiting for is somebody to turn on somebody. Because I think right now people are just waiting for, all right, who's it going to be? Who's turning on who? Mm-hmm. To me, when you watch this match, it's going to be like, okay, well, we get, but it'll be very interesting. Frankie, let them know where they can see you, my friend.
You guys are more than welcome to follow me at Frankie Fresco or Fresco Music. I have the Cameo Mix Show, which airs every Wednesday. And if you can't catch it on IGR Miami, you could catch it on my Mixcloud. Obviously, tomorrow is a new show. So 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on IGR Miami. If you follow me on social media, you'll be able to see the link. I always promote it. And then, of course, when it comes to the wrestling and it comes to any DJ stuff or anything that I'm doing while I'm on the road, you guys are more than welcome to always tune into my social media. So just follow me at Fresco Music. And don't forget to follow my YouTube channel, of course, Frankie Fresco. I've been doing a lot of shorts now, so I'm promoting shorts. So if you get a chance, go check out my shorts. They've been doing pretty well. I told Sean, I was like, look, Sean, we're getting traction here. So I appreciate everybody who always subscribes and everybody who hits that like on my channel and Sean's channel, because we're all both trying to grow. And the bigger we get, the more we could bring to you guys, and the more we could expand and do even bigger things. Because at one point in time, me and Sean have this dream, man, and the dream is to have our own show of wrestling. We don't have to work for anybody. We don't have to work for the man anymore. We got our show. We got our shit going on. We get to talk wrestling, and we just have a studio. We can invite people. We could have special guests. We could have everything. It could just be amazing. But we can't do it unless you guys give us that help and the support. So please, please go ahead and follow both of us. If you're on X, if you're on Rumble, if you're on Facebook, on Twitch, hit the like on the YouTube side, hit the subscribe, and share with your friends and family. I really appreciate it. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody on Thursday.
You can catch me at SS_Sports Talk on X, Stanley Media House, everywhere else. You can check out the Facebook page at Stanley Media House. And, of course, subscribe to the YouTube channels at Stanley Media House Network and Frankie Fresco. On Rumble, we're at Stanley Media House Network as well. And, of course, as Frankie Fresco said, everybody have a safe and healthy Thanksgiving on Thursday. We'll be back next Tuesday, 8 p.m., in the words of the great Gordon Soley. So long from the sun, shine, state.
The Square Circle Digest! The Square Circle Digest!